Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to our final event for International Education Week. We've got a good one for you. International Student Transfer Panel. Thanks for joining us today. Hopefully this is a great experience for everyone, and good to see some familiar faces out there. Hey, Yi Tao, good to see you. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen here with you all. And there we go. All right, here we are, International Transfer Student Panel in collaboration with Office of International Education, College Leap, and in a minute I'll introduce Yiru, who has been instrumental in getting this together. She's our representative from College Leap. And then also the International Student Mentorship Program, which she's going to talk about as well for you guys. All right. And then we have our two panelists. Bill, can you pronounce your last name for me?
Bill Wong.
Bill Wong and Scott Chen are here, who are our former international students. Both have transferred on to UC Berkeley. And so they're going to be sharing their experience with us today. All right. Next slide here. So today's agenda, we'll do some introductions, and then I'm going to give Yiru an opportunity to share about College Leap and the International Student Mentorship Program, and then we'll get into our panel. And if you guys have any questions for the panelists, why don't you go ahead and type them in the chat box as we're going along, and then at the end we can go through your questions. So as we're going along, if there's a question you want to ask the panelists, go ahead and type it in the chat box. Okay, myself, I'm Drew Gephardt, International Services Manager for the Peralta Community College District, and I work in the Office of International Education. Yiru?
Hi, everyone. My name is Yiru. So I'm part of the College Leap. My position is the Vice President of International Alumni Network. So I basically in charge of establishing a international alumni network between our former alumni and our current international students. So I work aims to facilitate our transfers experience, and yeah. So I also work. I'm also have the position of the Office of Club Affairs at Associates Laney College. So I want to show like if you guys have seen me during the Laney College Virtual Club Rush. Yeah. So I'm very looking forward to see you guys more in more campus activities. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing good in this afternoon. And my name is Bill Wong, and right now I'm a senior student at Cal, and then my major is interdisciplinary study with a focus of internet and education. So, yeah, and also I work at College Leap as position of director of chapter management. So it's really too good to be here, as a alum of Berkeley City College, and then to share some like experience tips to y'all. Hope that will be helpful for your transfer application. I know it's going on like this month, so good luck with that.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Scott, and my Chinese name is Chen Kai. So I'm a chemical engineering major at UC Berkeley, and then currently I'm in my 5th year, also in my last semester right now. So graduating on my way out. And then yes, really, I'm really glad to be here. I feel really fortunate to be invited to this panel. I mean, I was once in your position, like looking forward to transfer. And then I went to a lot of like events like this before too. So I mean, hopefully today that you'll get something out of our sharing, and then hopefully it will be helpful for you as you go on your way for your transfer journey. So I'll give it back to Drew, I guess.
All right, great. Yes, and I am going to pass it on to Yiru here to talk about College Leap.
Yeah, thank you, Drew. So I'm very excited to introduce you to awesome nonprofit student organization at our Peralta Community College. So the first one is College Leap. Yeah, so College Leap was a nonprofit student organization founded at UC Berkeley. It was basically establishing student chapters all across over different community colleges across in the United States. Yeah, it was led by students leadership team at BCC to serve international students by providing college leave projects and also building chapter projects. So at the moment, we are not hiring any leaderships, but you're welcome to join us as the general member, and to check out our website, which I already listed here, and to find out about our transfer blog and our weekly blog. Yeah, and we also have our Discord channel linked here, so feel free to join us. Yeah, and then I will pass the mic to Scott.
Okay, thank you so much. So yeah, I will kind of briefly talk about ISMP. Well, first off, you may ask like, what is ISMP, right? So next slide. Okay, thank you. I think I'll go to the next slide. So ISMP stands for International Student Mentorship Program. So it is a nonprofit organization that is organized by international student campus group at colleges and universities across the United States. And as a matter of fact, I myself am part of a student volunteer at ISMP UC Berkeley chapter. And then recently, we just started our Berkeley City College chapter as well. So ISMP aims to provide the benefits of having a mentor for international students as they go on with their study journey in the US. And then we know that a lot of our mentors are international or once international students, so they really want to share their experiences with you guys. And then also ISMP also seeks to create many opportunities to make lifelong friends along the way. Go to the next slide. Thank you. So, there are several topics that are covered by our mentorship program. Includes healthy living, living in America, study tips, English training, time management, as well as life skills. So there are 6 modules, and then each one of these modules have a reading materials, very comprehensive reading materials that you can go through with your mentor on a pace that suits you the best. Okay, so you can tune like how much you want to do like every week or so, and then to in order to learn more about this mentorship program, and go to the next slide. Right. So yeah, and then also our ISMP have several workshops, such as resume interview, as well as a lot of webinars that offered by our alumni volunteers to share about their experiences, and to learn more about our program. You can apply online at internationalmentorship.org, which is also, you can scan the QR code on the right. Like it will link you to our website. The same site, and then also the bottom there, info@internationalmentorship.org is our email. And then, after you go on this website and apply, after your application is reviewed, you will first attend a meet and greet orientation. And after this orientation, you will be assigned a mentor, and then you can start meeting with your mentor either online or in person. Oh, thank you, Drew, for sending out that website. So right now, mostly it's going to be online, but still, it's good to connect with some alumni and then have a mentor to guide you along the way. And then if you have WeChat, for the next slide, we also provided a WeChat QR code that you can join our WeChat group to stay updated about our most recent information on, whatever events that we have, or, whatever new webinars that we're putting on. And also, so I'm gonna give people a few seconds to just kind of scan this. And also, this is our national WeChat account as well, that you can scan and then subscribe to our WeChat account, where we will be having a lot of very useful articles that can hopefully will provide some resources that will help you along the way, whether it is study tips, professional tips, or even scamming. So there's a lot of useful articles over there. Okay, and then with that being said, I think that's the end of my short intro for ISMP, and I'll hand it back to Drew.
Okay, great. And if anyone missed any of the information on those slides, I will go ahead and send the slides out to everybody who's here today. So that way you can get the information if you want to be a part of either the College Leap Club at Berkeley City College or the International Mentorship Program. Okay, with that, let's jump into our panelists. And so Bill and Scott, I'm going to start off with the question is, what has been the biggest difference between community college and going to now a four-year university?
Yeah, that is a really good question, because that, that definitely is a big step when you make from a community college to a four-year university. So the biggest difference, I would say, for me at least, is the coursework. So specifically, I mean, normally you would complete the upper division courses at a four-year university, and in a community college you complete mostly lower division courses. So, and moving from lower division courses to upper division courses definitely would be a really good challenge, and then especially for international students, right? So at that, it's really important to keep in mind that to focus on study, so kind of like you can't just feel like, okay, now I got into a four-year university, I'm good. No, so you gotta like stay tuned, and then and focus. So, and trust me, at least for me, the first semester didn't go very well in terms of like study and all that. So I would say the biggest difference is the coursework, and yeah, just keep in mind. Yeah.
Do you find the coursework to be harder at UC Berkeley than it was at the
I think
community
so.
college?
Like for example, like I remember in my first semester at UC Berkeley, it's like a requirement, like for I don't know, like 4 classes, and each class they have like a weekly reading requirement, right? You gotta read like 40 pages reading weekly and all of that. Maybe just for my major, but I just want to point out that the coursework definitely would be a challenge, and yeah.
Okay, how about you, Scott?
Yeah, I think for me, it's really idea of campus life, and also a lot of different events that school can offer. Because in community college, first that the resources are somewhat limited, and also it also the student body, that's also kind of different factor. So when you think about campus life in community college, right? Although we have different kind of clubs, but the first of all, the number of clubs in UC Berkeley is like, I don't know, like 10 times or 20 times more than what you have normally in community college. So I think UC Berkeley has about 1,800 or something clubs that are registered on campus. So it's really, you have a lot of choices, like whatever you're interested in, you'll be able to find something, right? Some group, some community you can join, right? And then, but besides that, there are also other resources, professional resources that the school can offer you as well, such as, company info sessions. A lot of companies come to Cal and then to give info sessions to people, and then to introduce their companies to them. So that's good networking opportunities. And then a lot of times career center, they have a lot of events put up for professional development as well, such as resume to critique or interview prep, or even talk about like, H-1B, like work visa. So these kind of things as well, that really help you prepare better for like a professional journey in the future, right? And then, on top of that, there are a lot of, if you are interested in grad school, right? There are a lot of resources put out by, our like graduate school admission office or whatever that can introduce, like what grad school is like. And then there are programs that get you situated as well, that introduce some, graduate student mentor. And then in fact, like last semester, I was in a program called Getting into Grad School. So that program was really helpful to me as I was trying to navigate myself through a grad school application. So I think a lot of these resources are like really bountiful after transfer, you may realize. And I encourage all of you to be mindful of that. And then after your transfer, to really take advantage of these resources to help you grow as you enter your last 2 years in your college life.
Right. And what are some classes or activities that you guys took or participated in at the community college that helped you prepare for transfer?
I would say definitely the advocacy classes. That is like one of the fundamental requirements for all students, right? When you want to transfer to UC. So, I complete all advocacy requirements. And also, since I was elementary teacher education program, I was enrolled in that program like a few years ago at Berkeley City College. So I basically complete all the requirements and all that. So that covers like math, English, chemistry, physics, biology, and all that, all science and social science. So speaking of activities, I didn't get a lot of I was not really involved at Berkeley City College, but I did some like internship and volunteer like outside of the school. So I was I just want I'm not gonna just one example. So I asked my professor, Dr. Ken, which is which is my instructor for my education class, and then I reached out to her, and then she asked if she got any like opportunities for us, when if I wanted to get more experience in educational field. So she recommended me to go to there's like a school district, Albany High School, Albany Unified School District. I'm sorry. So that so I kind of like go to that place, and then to just kind of scan all the opportunities and all that. So and finally I got involved as a substitute teacher at Albany High School. Yeah, that's pretty much for now.
All right. How about you, Scott?
I think for me, because I'm a chemical engineering major, so a lot of actually for people who want to transfer to College of Engineering or College of Chemistry at Berkeley, you actually don't need to finish the Agassiz the Agassiz classes. So for me myself, I took a lot of I basically the classes listed out in assist.org. So that class list, I finished all of it. So I think that was helpful in that, although some of the classes are suggested, if you have the bandwidth or the capability to kind of take on that like extra classes and to finish all the classes recommended on assist.org, then you're definitely in a really good position. Because some of those classes, such as because I remember that for engineering, I took like engineering 70, which is MATLAB, and then engineering 45, which is about properties of materials. So these classes are recommended. Like you choose not to take them, and then after transfer here and then take them. I mean, I know some of my friends who didn't take that class in community college, and they took it after they came here. But then one thing I think will say that after you took those classes, you definitely put yourself in a better position, and you to prepare yourself better for what's coming. And also, I also took the organic chemistry class 12A and B. So those are also really. I think 12B is recommended, but then still, I finished that just because I want to better prepare myself for upper division classes. And also, actually one of the questions that you have in your personal statement is, how do you better prepare for your major? And then, if you finish all of your recommended classes on assist.org, can say like, oh, I took on extra load and then finish all the classes because I want to prepare myself. So, that's something you could say. And regarding activities, I think I'll mention one thing that really helped me was I think long-term volunteer activities was in general kind of hard to find for people, and also really helpful actually for application package. So for me, I volunteered at Berkeley Animal Care Services. So it is an animal shelter in West Berkeley. You can take 51B and then go all the way down to Berkeley Marina. And so that's an animal shelter. And then if you like animals like I do, I love dogs, man. Yeah, if you love animals, you can go there and then volunteer. It's also it's really fun, just play with animals and then walk dogs and play with cats. And then and volunteered there. So I used to volunteer there for like a year and a half, and then so every weekend, I'll like take bus there and then walk along the park for like an hour or so, and then to play with the animals. So it's like super fun. So I don't know what's the COVID restriction right now for them. If they still allow community volunteers, you can definitely check them out. It's called Berkeley Animal Care Services again, and then it was a really fun experience for me. And then I think this long-term volunteer experience definitely helped me as well. Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for sharing that. We actually have one other alumni on here. Aaron is here as well. Aaron, do you want to introduce yourself? What school did you transfer from and to, and then do you want to share any of the activities that helped you to transfer?
Oh, hi everyone. I'm Aaron. So I'm also transferred from Peralta Community College. So I'm also currently in UC Berkeley. Well, I would say like the activity that prepared me the most was mostly because like I did a lot of volunteer work during my community college year. So I use that as like one to my advantage and like use it in my personal statement. So I think I have over like 300 hours worth of like volunteer work. So then I use it as part of like my personal statement. So then it kind of just shows you like as like a different characters outside of school, because mostly university will just look at you as like what kind of like a person, like people are you, instead of just like a student, because like they would just look at your extracurricular work and like would judge you like based on like what you did like outside of classes, I guess.
Right.
So
let's, go ahead. Yeah.
To share, because I know like right now online, a lot of volunteer opportunities are not easy to find. So recently I just learned that there's this website called zooniverse.org. On there's a lot of like research projects, and there are a lot of like actually researchers that needs help from communities, to help them with some like basic work. So you can go there and then look for like a project that you're really interested in, and then just help out with that researcher, and then be able to get some online volunteer experiences that way if you're looking for any.
Oh, nice. I am going to share a link as well. There's a website called, let me pull it up here. Volunteer Match. I don't know if you guys have heard of this one or not, but and again, I don't know how they're operating right now during COVID, but feel free to check out Volunteer Match for also some volunteer opportunities. But one of the things I wanted to talk about and get down to is, you guys can mention the personal statement and how important that is to applying to the four-year college. What are some tips that you guys have in terms of writing the personal statement? What are some of the most important elements that you presented that you think helped you to be accepted?
Right. So yeah, just to add on that, like about the volunteer. So the volunteer match, actually College League is like have a partnership with them. So we're sharing their database. So if you are a College League journal member or site member, you can also get access to these volunteer opportunities. Okay. So about my personal application essay, I would say, you gotta think of one thing, right? You gotta point out one specific element that you want to show to the people who read your application, right? So the element I chose was community. Since I'm like education guy, and then I actually have some volunteer experience in Colombia, a country as in South America, and then also as an international student from China, and also studying in the United States. So this kind of like global experiences that like really inspire me. What is a community? Like, doesn't have to be a certain group, or doesn't have to be like specific people that share similar ideas. So I was writing this and kind of bring this up to my personal essay to to link my all experiences, and then to the point of like what is community and what does what does community play in education, and why it is important to me. So I address these points, and then through my personal essay, and then I believe you can choose, questions and all of that. So I choose some questions that related, I would say it could be like an essay format, right? So it doesn't have to be, okay, the first question and the second question, they are separate, right? So for me, at least, I feel like it could be really benefit. It could be really good if you can choose those questions that like in a essay order, or kind of have like connections, right? You don't want to bring one point in first question and then another totally different point in the second question. That just made people feel confused, like when they're reading this. So once you set up the thing and then you want to start writing this, so again, just like in a different order, right? You choose the questions, and that is the way you start writing the essay. And then you want to go back to your experience, like regardless volunteer experience or internship experience, or any kind of or some academic experience, and all that kind of linked together. And each experience point at least one sub point. So for example, my main point is like community, right? So I can split them, throughout my experiences. Like first one, I want to talk about, okay, so what is community? And the second one, I would like to talk about how do people get involved in community? And lastly, I would talk about, what role does it play in a society and all of that. Just give some examples. So I feel like that would be a good idea if you do that, and that really makes you, makes the application essay more reader friendly, and also, just more clear to people, and they know like, okay, that experience really makes you as the person, right? And then you really contribute to the community, you really show passion and all of that. So that's my story.
Yeah, and just for clarification too, because there's two different essays you have to write, isn't? Right. Or I'm sorry, do you have a regular essay that you have to write, and then you have the personal insight questions that you have to answer, or are those the same things?
For me, it's like a required question, right? As all one required question, and then you have pick 4 of 7, I guess, or 3 of 7 questions they're given.
Right. Yeah. The personal insight questions, there's 8 questions to choose from.
Yeah.
And then you have to respond to 4 of those 8 questions.
Yes.
And then, but is there a separate essay that you also have to write, or are you talking?
I think you submit it like in one page, but like you gotta respond like in different like blank, and then this. Well, at least for me, my personal experience, I feel like it would be better if you kind of connect them together rather than answer one and that's it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Aaron? In terms of, I'm still on, because I didn't apply to UC Berkeley like you guys. When you do the application, right? So I know you have to select 4 of the personal insight questions, right? 4 out of the 8 to choose from.
Right.
Is there a separate essay that you also have to write as well?
I think it depends on the college like you're applying for in Berkeley, because some colleges they require you to like write an extra questions. So, but for my college, it's the College of Letters and Science. It was the same for as every other UC. So we were required to write any other extra question. But if you were to apply to Haas, yes, they'll ask for like 1 extra essay.
Makes sense. Do you remember? So, do you remember which personal insight question you chose? I have some examples here. Describe an example. Here, let me share my screen.
Oh, okay.
So this is the UC admissions, and if you just search personal insight questions, you can actually go here and see what questions are listed on the application. And these are the 8 questions that you can choose from. And I think you would choose 4 of them, but so one is describe an example of your leadership experience in which you have positively influenced others, helped resolve disputes, or contributed to group efforts over time.
Oh yes, that is one of my questions.
Okay, well, let's take that one. Do you remember what helped you with that, or?
Oh, so well, I'm still part of that organization. So there's like a chapter in community college. They are like in Berkeley City College. It's called City. I'll talk about it in chat for everyone. So it's like a volunteering group. And then there's also another chapter. There's another chapter in UC Berkeley. So yeah, I used it because like I was like the medical outreach manager. So then I had to like lead a group of like people whenever we head out to outreaches and like for our volunteer work. So that I used it as part of like my writing, I guess I would say.
Makes sense. Did any of you three write an answer to the second one? Every person has a creative side about creativity. Any of you? No, didn't choose that one.
I choose, I'm reading my personal essay right now, actually. So I choose number 5 and number 6. So
number 5, describe the most significant challenge you have faced and the steps you have taken to overcome the challenge. Ooh, how has this challenge affected your academic achievement? All right, Bill, let's hear it.
All right. So basically, because I describe as like from transition from high school to here. So that's pretty common, but like, I guess me is like different from others because I didn't do really well in terms of like academic when I was in high school. And then I kind of like, I took this as a second chance and all of that. So, so I'm reading it, but like, how do I convince them? So basically just like, how do I motivate myself to get more involved in the community? How do I motivate myself to, reach out to new people and to find resources and all of that? And then I guess, let me see, the last paragraph is about academic achievement, right? So it's how do I kind of pursuing myself that, learning and studying, and then to kind of, manage the get this time management skills and all of that, and that is that, that mostly covered that question.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, it was using your challenge of going from high school to college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that actually is very common, but like, I think the trick is how do you describe it, right? So everyone is different, right? So I picked specifically my story that is, I guess, really different from others. But yeah. And
all right.
Number 6, sorry. Yeah, if others want to join, want to
talk
about
have,
this.
Did any of you, Scott or Aaron, choose that question for yourself?
The challenge one?
No,
I did not.
What was one? Do you remember which one you chose, Scott?
Yeah. So I chose leadership, and what makes you stand out, and also community.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess and those are some. Yeah.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I could comment on the like the community one a little bit, because I think like what have you done to make your school or community a better place. So here, I kind of talk about, I talked about my experiences about, volunteering at the animal shelter, and then how that experience kind of changed my heart. And then that I realized that, they need more volunteers. And then I came back to like, BCC, and then I tried to start like a, animal care club in Berkeley City College, and then, seek to, like attract more volunteers that way. So, that's like an example that kind of shows how you can link something that, that happened in your life that you can link to like a bigger picture, right? So all of these essays, I'll say if you can link them to a bigger picture, that'll be pretty nice, because like they like these kind of like answers, I guess, sort of like through your personal experience. How do you see yourself as part of something bigger, right? If they're asking you, why you're interested in a major, right? And then put yourself in something bigger in that, like, okay, so this major, how it's gonna help me contribute to society or whatnot, right? So I think with that, if you have that picture in mind and read a personal essay that way, I think it'll start you off in a really good place. And also, something that really helped me along the way was something called Starting Point Mentorship Program. that offered by Berkeley Transfer Student Center. I think right now their application are probably due already. I think their application are due somewhere around like February or March. They'll often pair you with students who've transferred at Cal, and then that can help you with your essays and stuff. And also they'll actually have the real, undergrad admission people to help you review your essay. So it's really their advice can be really on point. So I do suggest you look into this starting point mentorship program, and then if you are applying next fall, definitely look into this program, apply for it next spring, so that you can get into this program next fall to get yourself a good start on personal application essays.
All right. Aaron, did you have what was one of the questions that you asked as well, or answered as well? Do you remember?
So the other ones I had was like, what would you say is your greatest talent or skill?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's hear that one.
So, well, I don't think it was a good part for me, but this is how I feel like, because we're international, we have we are learning like English as our second languages. So I would say like being able to speak like a different language also puts you in like an advantage, because like you'll be able to communicate with people from like different backgrounds, and then like people of like other races and stuff. And then I think I use like linguistic skills, and then just put in like, so I was a volunteer tutor in community college. So I was able to like work and meet with people. You could use it as like your linguistic skill to communicate with people who are struggling with their classes, or like people who are like trying to learn English. If you were to speak the same language, you could just help them through like their ESL courses and stuff.
Great. Thank you for sharing. So hopefully that helps all of you guys to know how to start preparing, personal insight. And I would advise visiting the transfer centers on campus at Berkeley, Laney, Merritt, Alameda. They each have a transfer center. Right now, everything is done virtually, obviously, but they actually provide workshops and do advising on these things that we're talking about, preparing for the UC or CSU application process. They have advisors from the campuses that come in. So make sure you take advantage of that. What made you all choose UC Berkeley?
All right, I will start. So the first one is a location, I guess, because UC Berkeley is really close to Berkeley City College. And then I will go for work for like 10 minutes around the campus. And sometimes you just want to get food, and then you're just stop by the UC Berkeley campus. And then also the second one is they have like really strong academic resources, right? So I'm really an academic guy, so I like to get more involved like with my studies, my future research and all of that. So yeah, that's two main reasons for me.
Nice. And did you guys all choose UC Berkeley before you even came to the United States, that was sort of your goal to come to Peralta and transfer to UC Berkeley?
I guess,
yeah.
Because I guess part of my personal statement actually was because my grandpa, he was like chemistry teacher in China. So like I had a lot of conversation with him, and then that kind of inspired me to kind of really go into like chemistry on this field. And then so I knew that like national ranking was like Berkeley is the best like public college for like a public college because because it's cheaper, right? So I wasn't really thinking about private school just because they're too expensive. And then Berkeley is like the best public university for like chemistry research. And then so my reason for choosing Berkeley is really because of the research. Is that the Berkeley professors, Berkeley chemistry, like chemistry department or like college chemistry has, I think if I remember it right, about like 30 or something Nobel laureates. So it's really a huge number. And then that it has like a really strong research culture. And then after I came here, I did research with like professors in college of engineering. Also, I did research with professors in college of chemistry. And right now, I'm doing research at Berkeley Lab, which is the national lab located just on like back of campus. So all of like these resources, if you're interested in grad school, can really help you get a taste of what research is like and stuff. So yeah, that really makes like Berkeley really attractive to me. So yeah.
Right. I'd like to add on this. So yes, Scott, thanks for sharing. So I also like really into academic. So Berkeley has a really strong like resources like in terms of academics. So they have like undergrad research apprenticeship, I guess. It's like a program that provides students, involved in school founded research. So right now I'm working with professors from graduate school of education to work on like the well-being for adolescents during COVID-19. So I like to just point out that if you're really into academic, you like to do your own research, and then you're planning to apply for a grad school. So I would definitely feel like Berkeley is a place for you to study, to do research and all that. Yeah.
And I'd like to see in the chat box, if you guys can chat what university you guys are interested in transferring to. I'd be curious to see those of you who are here today, what four-year university you all are interested in transferring to, if you don't mind typing it in the chat box. All right, last question for you guys. And then if anyone else has any questions, we could get to those. But what are your plans after graduation? And maybe you can share how long you have before you graduate as well.
All right, so I'm actually graduating this semester, so in about like 4 weeks. So my plan for that, so I'm applying for the grad school, as I mentioned like earlier, maybe really into academic and research. So that is one of my plans. And then second plan is work on the college leave. So because I feel like college leave really doing something, and we are planning to host another project like for the research one, and that is like what I really like. We've been working on for years, so I probably will spend a few years on this, and yeah, that would be it for now. The life changes, I don't know what's gonna happen, but that's for now.
What about Scott or Aaron? How much longer do you have, and what are your plans after graduation?
Yeah, I think for me, I think also I mentioned at the beginning of this panel that I'm also graduating this semester, so on my way out, and then I'm also applying for grad school right now. I'm interested in PhD program in chemical engineering. So right now I'm applying for that, and then actually I just submitted my first grad school application yesterday. So the grad school application cycle already started, and then which means that if I graduate this semester, also I'm going to have like a gap between like January to August, I guess. And then so for that 8 months, I plan to work in a lab on campus. Yeah, so right now I already we got the approval from one of the program directors to work in a lab on campus to kind of fill in this gap between now and grad school in next year August. So yeah, so that's my plan so far. And Aaron, if you want to share too.
So I'm also applying for grad school right now, but I'll be graduating by spring of 2021. So I'm applying to like the UK instead. So I'll be moving out of the US. So yeah, the application process is a bit different when you're applying to like the EU site instead, because like they ask for like certain like aspect of saying like how did like the US. So I had to write like an extra essay. So it was like how did the US prepare you as like a person instead of just a student. So basically you have to like show how you change like throughout your years in the US, and then basically make yourself stand out, I would say. So
Got it. Got a question for you guys. How many units did you complete before transfer?
70, around 70. So okay, let me see. It'll be 60 units. That'd be fine, I guess. So it'd be good. But I don't want to go over 90 units. I guess that is considered as a senior student, and that you don't want to have like over 90 transferable units. Yeah.
Okay, so you had 70. Scott and Aaron, do you remember how many units you guys had?
Yeah, I think I have 76. I think just because as a engineering or like as an engineer or like science student, you kind of have to, I guess mostly for engineering, you have to take a lot of classes because you have to finish all the math series, all the physics and chemistry series. So add that, and then each one of those classes like 5 units. So that actually adds like a lot of like units to your load. So yeah, I think I did like 76 or 78 units. Yeah.
So I did 76 in community college.
Wow.
But I think only 70 of them actually transferred. I would say it would depends on like your major. Your major would play like a really important role in applying, because like they would check out like the courses you took. Because for my major, we weren't required to take any IGET-C. That's why I was stuck at 76.
Makes sense. And there is a question, you know, how many are required? It is 60 units are required to transfer, but sometimes you end up taking more units. One question, this is from Hyung Yu. Is there any EECS major? I'm not sure exactly what you want to share, Hyung Yu?
Oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah, what is your question?
Oh, I'm trying to ask about the prerequisite finish. Okay, my question is like, I mean, now this is my first year, but I'm trying to apply this year, but I need to still take one computer science and one physics and chemistry and one more math. But I wonder, I mean, the school treats same as the people who apply after finish the more prerequisite than me. Like, I mean, usually, I mean, if they spend more semester than me, yeah, I think they finish more than me. But I wonder they treated me and other students same. Like, yeah, I just wondered.
Okay, though I'm not ECS major, but like my roommate got transferred from Berkeley City College to UC Berkeley as ECS major last year. So I heard that you're applying this year as a freshman, right? So I don't know, but like from my roommate case, ECS major requires a lot of classes to take, and then math series and physics and computer science courses. So I would say you like to double check with the transfer center or counselor, and then you want to complete all courses and requirement, and I believe you have like a minimum requirement to apply as well. So and that ECS major is for another college, is College of Engineering. So I believe they have different policies, I guess. So I would just say you like to double check with that. So if you want to apply as a freshman.
Yeah, I guess also for folks who are like not so familiar with this acronym, so ECS stands for Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. So it is like one of the hardest major in Berkeley to get into, and I think actually it's the transfer rate for this major is actually about like 6% or something. So actually was really low compared to like other majors, because it's really tough. It's a really popular major and a lot of people are transferring. So I'll say that I also have a roommate who is actually transferred as an ECS major. So I'll say that like if you want to transfer as EECS, definitely complete all of the classes on assist.org. You can even take extra classes if you can, like extra CS classes. Like definitely finish all of those and then try to maintain a good GPA. That I would say that's like the least minimum of like transferring to EECS. And also if you are interested, one good resource is that, so this is a transfer by major. If you go on this website and then you'll be able to see, each university and then each major, and you see the transfer rate data, and then that can help you analyze, which school you want to apply for, or you can have a sense of, how difficult it is to get into this major at this university.
Right, very good information.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I already see, yeah, issue is completed.
Right.
Well, like as a, oh, I'm sorry, but you can go.
All right. So, just add on that. So I believe Berkeley City College also has the course enrollment, right? Cross enrollment for UC Berkeley. So I heard some of my friends also, they are applying for ECS major as a community college students. And what they do right now, they kind of have like last year, no COVID. So they take advantage of like the cross enrollment. And they basically, I believe they were taking CS61A at UC Berkeley. So I would really recommend if you like to transfer to Berkeley as ECS major, and then you have that sort of like academic record on your application. So you have complete a course at UC Berkeley, CS 61A, and then hopefully you get a good grade out of it. And then that really makes you stand out compared to other applicants. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. And I went ahead and put in the chat box a link for those of you that want to set up an appointment with our international student counselor, Todd Shima. He's a great resource, and I know that he would take some time to talk through, the requirements for different majors and different colleges. So definitely do that. And then I will also put the links to the transfer centers as well, so that if any of you guys want to check out the transfer centers on campus as well. Any last words, Bill, Scott, Aaron?
Yeah.
Glenn, I see Glenn there. He's from Merritt College. He's our soccer coach up at. Glenn, you're a soccer coach, right? At Merritt? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, I am the soccer coach. Yeah, and I'm very impressed with this panel. I'm also a former international student. Yeah, and so I've gone through a 4-year college, and I'm very impressed with what you guys are doing. One question, if I may, Drew.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, there's a stigma about community college and the pathway through our community college and then going to a 4-year college, and how you're faring with regards to in competition with your other students at Cal that have gone the route of going to 4 years. Do you feel that you made the right decision? Do you feel that you're ahead of them? You're competing with them? I would like to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? Because I'm a big believer in our community college and that the pathway is not, there's not one pathway out. So can you guys speak to that and maybe speak to the mentorship role that you guys could have, or that we can build to the next generation, the generation to come to you, as well as the generation that comes to us. What can we do in terms of mentorship to make that better?
Yeah, I'll say, referring to our first question, I think a lot of us, we come to community college for different reasons, right? We have different circumstances in our lives that kind of drives us to this spot. And after a transfer, I think it's really important for us to realize that, our experiences is what makes us unique. And also, after we transfer, we bring this experience to the university. And then, that's something that can really strengthen us actually, because, a lot of people, they may get admitted as a freshman. I mean, frankly speaking, a lot of them, when they get admitted, they may, kind of like sheltered or whatnot. But, as a community college student, you are really self-motivated because, if you want to transfer, you're really going to push yourself, right? So I'll say that experience you had in community college can really help you along the way. And also, a lot of us, we might have like different circumstances in our families. And I think those are also like really like important backgrounds that that can really just shape us as a, more mature personnel as we have that experience. And as we bring that experience to the university, we can also bring diversity to our community and also, share with others of, what our experiences are, and also a good way to, bind the community together as well. So I'll say that the unique experiences that we have here in community college are actually quite unique. And regarding the mentorship, I think like opportunities like this kind of webinar, and then I think it's like really helpful. Like at least when I was, a community college student, I really look forward to these kind of like panels to just hear about, what upperclassmen would say, and then hear about, like sort of their experiences and then learn from them. And I'll say, yeah, definitely. Like if we can have this kind of opportunity to try to reach out to some people who transfer and then make some panels or even do some mentorship connect kind of thing, then connect with people who transferred, even just like online or any sort of way that can connect people, I think it's gonna be, yeah, really helpful.
Yeah. That's great. And I remember I was in a workshop with UC Berkeley admissions officers, and they said that, sometimes the students, or not sometimes, most of the time, the students who are transferring from community colleges are much more prepared as opposed to a freshman coming on campus. And they look forward to having students from community colleges coming on because they know, and even the instructors, the faculty at UC Berkeley or other 4 years, they know that those students in their classes, they know what the coursework is going to be like because they've already been taking, upper or, college level credit for 2 years. So,
yeah, and so like not gonna lie, but one of our chemical engineering like instructor, he did say that like our class, like our class, which is composed of all transfer students, is the best class that he ever taught. So like, like this is literally what he said, right? So we're a group of like 30 transfer students in like one of the toughest programs in Berkeley, and then that's what he said, right? So that also shows something about the resilience of our community college students. Yeah.
That's great.
Drew, we gotta put that on a big polish it. Great statement, Scott.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm so proud of you guys. Very.
Yeah. Well, I think on that note, because it is almost 4 o'clock here, we'll call it a day. Bill has one more thing here, add on about volunteer.
Yep. So just want to share the ASIC, which is also a nonprofit if you are looking for like overseas volunteer opportunities.
Okay.
But, I don't think you can do that right now, but like that is a good resource. But anyway.
You know what? There's a lot of organizations that are doing virtual internships right now too.
Yeah.
So definitely search that out, virtual. And the nice thing about virtual is you can do it, overseas, anywhere in the United States. Whereas before you would have had to travel, so now there's some of those internships are even more accessible to do some things. But yeah, thanks for sharing ASEC. I'll take a look at that. All right.
One thing, I'm the soccer coach. If you guys have smart players from China that want to come and study at any of our community colleges and play good quality soccer and then go to a 4-year college, I'd be open to listening to any one of those. Yeah, because that's what we do. It's giving a combination of an experience, and soccer is just another very popular thing all over the world.
Oh, that's great. Glenn, we'll have to connect more offline because I do have some people that I work with. I went to Scotland last year. And, you know, soccer is huge in Europe, you know, Scotland,
all over the
London.
world, all over the world.
So we'll have to get some of them to come on over here and play some soccer. Oh, looks like we lost Glenn.
Here.
Oh, you're still there.
Yeah.
You froze for a second. Yes, you're back.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for allowing me to give a little shout out for the quality that these guys bring, and also the connections that they can have internationally. And certainly want to pick up where we left off in talking about Scotland and other countries around the world.
Sounds great. And Glenn, where are you from? You said you're an international student.
I'm from a small country. I'm Chinese, actually. Suriname. Suriname is a small country. You have five or six different nationalities. You know, Indian, Black, Chinese, Indonesians. So it's a small country, 500,000 people. Really, you know, we have a lot of people from different countries. And I came here. I played soccer at the University of San Francisco, and then moved on to 20 years of working in the computer industry. And then then I decided after that to just have fun and coaching and giving back to the community. So that's what I'm doing. And I enjoy seeing the next generation. I'm so excited. Very, very excited.
Oh.
Thank you for doing this, Drew. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And thanks to Bill, Scott, Aaron, Yitao as well. Good seeing you, you know, College Leap. And hope you guys all have a great weekend and Thanksgiving as well. So, all right, guys, have a good one.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you, Joe. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Nice weekend.